If you don't take care of yourself, who will? What is success worth if you are not healthy to enjoy it? Who are you becoming through the habits you practice every day? How can you give your best to others if you're running empty? What would your life look like if you felt your best every day? Are you investing in your future self or borrowing from it? What is your body trying to tell you that you've been ignoring? If your health declined tomorrow, what would you wish you had started today? What does living well mean beyond staying alive? What kind of life are you building with the habits you choose today? Those are the questions we want to answer today as we are going to be talking about wellness. Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Joy and today we're going to be talking about wellness. We're halfway through the year already. It's a good time to check in with ourselves, where we at in our wellness journey. Hopefully I can give you some ideas or activities that you can do to improve the different aspects of wellness. When we talk about wellness, we usually limit it into the physical side of it only, exercising. Or for some, it can be like, just drinking matcha or drinking your supplements. But there's a lot of things to unpack in the world of wellness. Every day is always a good time to start or refresh your wellness journey. So yeah, let's unpack those in our video today. The first one for me in terms of wellness is mental wellness. I'll really put it on top because, they say it always starts here. If you have a healthy mind, everything follows through. Mental wellness is taking care of your mind and how you think. When we talk about mental wellness, I think it's important to draw the line where to push your mind and also give the space for your mind to rest and recover, just like your body. So the things that you can do to regulate your mind and all that can be just as simple as reading a book or learning a new skill, solving puzzle or challenging your mind, taking on complex things to solve. On the other side of the spectrum, there's also things that you can do to give your mind the rest it needs. It can be, just a simple taking a break. Sometimes we don't take that proactive approach in taking a break, which is actually very important just to prevent burnout. And of course, new and fresh ideas to come. I think we're all guilty of this, which is limiting our social media. Sometimes we doom scroll our way through the day, and it's very important to be mindful of how we consume our media. Reality is happening outside of our phone. So I think it's always a good time to have that healthy time when to actually scroll and have that awareness in terms of our behavior to social media. And of course, you can also practice positive self-talk. You can do mantra, or you can read quotes and just talking to yourself positively, being kind to yourself, being kind to your mind. Of course, you can always do meditation. There's actually a lot of resources or tools that you can access to out there that you can try, and some of them are free, or you can just go to YouTube. There are guided meditations there to help you with your mental wellness. Next for me is emotional wellness. It's understanding your emotions and expressing them in healthy ways. Sometimes we veer away from talking about our emotions. You want to be logical, you want to be as much as possible, you want to see things black and white. But let's admit it, there are really moments where you will be faced with your emotions. And there are really things that, you can do to help improve your emotional wellness. First one is, you've heard this many times again, journaling your thoughts or writing your thoughts. It's actually a very good exercise because you are able to unload that mental weight and when it's out from your mind, when you actually write things down. Second is, of course, talking to your friends or family. But of course, if you can do it, try to have a therapist because they're experts, or they can help you manage and hopefully facilitate how you think, or maybe something to think about how you process your thoughts. Actually, when I was going through challenging times, it was actually the first time also I tried to have a therapist, and it really helped me see things from a different lens or process my emotions. And getting a therapist is actually helpful because, especially when you're emotional, having another person to look into how you are processing things is very helpful. And of course, feeling your emotions, not veering away from them, not shying away, whether you feel like crying today, whether you want to just have a break when you find yourself in a stressful situation. Letting yourself feel all these emotions will really help to regulate yourselves moving forward. Next is to help with your emotional wellness is practicing gratitude. I actually do this every day. I try to write down what are my wins for today, whether it's physical, spiritual. There's always something to celebrate, something to always be grateful for. My sister actually once said to me, just the mere fact that you are breathing is already something to be grateful for, which is true. Just having a normal day is already a blessing. And lastly is trying to name your emotions. It really helps to assess also why do you feel triggered, why do you feel happy in certain situation. Really understanding how you are processing your emotion and labeling them as well. It will really help you regulate yourselves, and hopefully when you find yourself again in the similar situation, you know how to navigate through these emotions. Next is the physical wellness, which is giving your body the nutrition, the movement, the rest. When I was just starting with my workout journey and all that, I've actually tried a gazillion of things like swimming, calisthenics, all that. And I think for me, what really helped me to sustain my physical wellness is finding that thing that actually I really enjoy. Different physical activities, because something new, meet new people as well. So it's really good to find, if you don't have it yet, to try many things. Nowadays, you can join a running club, or there are studios now that they have their own community. Why not try finding that? And I think in terms of the physical wellness, aside from finding that thing that you enjoy, is also observing your body, how you are reacting to these activities. I always share this to my class, which is finding that balance, knowing when to push yourself and also being kind to your body. So when you're planning out your physical activities or physical wellness, try to find that balance. When is that day you actually want to push yourself and actually give your body the rest, the care it needs? And of course, at the physical side of the wellness, there's also that nutrition. Really eating the right food, fueling your body, especially when you're doing high-intensity workouts, making sure that you're eating the right food to fuel you and push you to do those activities. But of course, again, letting yourself also enjoy. I think let's all admit it that we find ourselves sometimes to indulge ourselves. Sometimes it's also giving yourself that grace. So sometimes to enjoy the sweetness of life. And of course, I think on the physical wellness of things, there's rest, which we actually don't put so much emphasis on. Actually, before I would really just power through with things. I would work out 7 times a week or not giving myself a rest day. And almost to the point in injuring myself, which is actually bad because rest is part of the process. Finding that the time or that day in the week where you give yourself the time to recover. And there are a lot of things you can do now, whether, for example, going to a recovery facility, doing your conscious therapy, infrared, or giving yourself a massage, or getting a massage. So those are the things that you need to do. And of course, it doesn't have to be costly. You can actually just make sure you have the right sleep, you're drinking enough water, all that to give yourself the time to rest and recover. And of course, giving your body the care it needs, whether it's through skincare or whether going to your derma, anything that will help you feel good about your physical well-being, do it. Next is the spiritual wellness of things. More of finding the meaning, your purpose, and your inner peace. And there are a lot of things that can do to help you with your spiritual wellness. Meditating. If you are new to meditating, there are a lot of apps actually out there that you can try. For example, Calm, or I think it's a Soul Space app. You can just try at least the free sessions that they have. Or you can go to YouTube and find a guided meditation. Or honestly, meditating can be just sitting quietly in a room and observing your thoughts, observing observing your environment will really help you go into that space of meditation. Next, of course, to help with your spiritual wellness is spending time in nature. Whether you're going for a walk, if there's a park near you, go and do a walk at least in a day. Or for example, you go on a weekend and you reconnect with the nature. Those are really helpful to finding your peace and maybe thinking through also what purpose do you want to serve. And the spiritual wellness is also reflecting on what you believe in, challenging yourself also of the values. Maybe it's an old value that may not be really good to you, maybe reflecting on that as well. So it's always good to challenge our views as well, or how we see things, how we treat people. It's a way to help our spiritual wellness. And next is our social wellness. Sometimes we feel connected because there's social media right now. You can send a text to your friend just in a split second. But there's really beauty in connecting with others. And there's a trend now wherein people wanting to have that organic encounters again. Maybe this is an aspect that you haven't been dealing for a while, but there's always that room or there's always the chance to connect also with others and finding that group where you feel connected. First one is connecting with your friends or your family, celebrating their wins, asking help when you need it, communicating openly and respectfully, or again, if you want to challenge yourself, finding that community that's new to you and connecting with the right people. I think it's good to connect with other people as well. For example, when you attend a yoga class, it's good to connect with the people or asking them why are they into yoga. People do have different reasons of why they want to try out things. Just that and connecting, for example, when you're traveling. I've actually met from a lot of random solo travelers when I was traveling a lot before, and you ask them random questions. For example, why are you traveling? Why are you into this place again? What draw you into this place? Giving yourself and practicing that skill also to connect with other people is really good to establish yourself. So when you find yourself in, for example, talking to a random person again, you already how to interact because this is not a new thing to you. They say you build confidence the next time you do it. So if you're shy, you just do it, and then again, the next time around it becomes normal to you to connecting, for example, to a new person because you've gone through it, you've gone the emotion that went through it. And last but not the least is financial wellness. This might be something that we veer away from, but it's actually very good to have a look at our financial wellness and where we stand in life, and of course have that vision as well. Where do we want to go? And let's admit that some of the things that we are doing, it really involves our resources, our time, and of course assessing where our money goes, or what's the investment we have, or what are the assets that we have will really help you support your financial wellness. So I think for me, number one is really tracking where your money is going. I've learned this from Nisha before when I was watching her video about managing finances. There are three aspects that you want to look into. First is your fundamental, for example, your rent, your bills, the things that you really need to look into. It helps you with your day-to-day and non-negotiable, because if you actually miss some of it, will actually give you stress. So you want to make sure that you are really looking into your fundamentals first. And the way to manage that is, for example, setting your bank account automatically, part of your salary automatically pays your bill, so you don't have to think about it. So that's number one. Next is fun. Of course, we pay bills and all that, but it's also important to enjoy what we are earning or what we have. But of course, draw the line again when to find that balance and how much of it do you actually want to spend, whether, for example, it's a 5% or 10%. It's dependent on you. And I think on the last one is future investing or giving, really saving up also for your future and your emergency fund. For example, when one gets sick, you need to have that. When you have that resource, it will actually really give you and help you manage when you are in that situation. And I think on the terms of the financial wellness, if you are starting in this space, it actually helps to watch videos and educate yourself into this. You don't need to reinvent the wheel to manage your finances. Actually, there are a lot of tools out there to help you manage your financial wellness. One of the books that actually really I enjoyed reading and understanding how we spend or why is our motivation like this when it comes to our finances is the Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. It's really a good book. I would really recommend it to everyone who's really wanting to look at your financial wellness. So that's it, guys. Hopefully it gave you some ideas or perspective. It will really help you feel better, function better, and hopefully enjoy the higher quality of life. Till our next video. Again, this is Joy, and thank you for watching.